I've been bout my papyrus since I've been in it. Put me in the debate, you know I'm gon' win it. If I scream black power, don't get timid. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. Primary research and we done pushed it to the limits. All you dudes finished. The king counting cattle up with brother Reggie. When I'm in Oakland, smoking, bro, they love the Chevy. Back in the day, it was the spokes on the chariot. Long procession when the king got carried out to every spot. Woman looking nice as ISIS. I read ancient texts, so my advice is priceless. Nubian gold, your ice don't entice us. Beating me harder than counting grains in your spices. Your heart was beating, but your brain dead, you're lifeless. Yo, they ain't nothing like us, yo. Don't try to make me mad. Make me smile and say you love me, man. That's real right there. Yeah, come on. You should listen to your main man's advice. Do a YouTube and apologize like Dice. Or the back fade coming like the Antichrist. Egyptologists sent me reading and said that I'm nice. I got a Stele with your name on it. I'm like Sargon. You the type of dude wake up and your car gone. Told, cause of the money you owe. Before you stream, you should clean up that humble abode. Like Akhenaten City for my woman in gold. I keep the pseudos running, people coming in droves. You catch me on a live stream with Pan-African James. When we building, call us by our African names. I'm for the children. And ain't nothing happen to change. We on that black hype, so we still packing them things for protection. Got connections, My complexion, pure black, that's the essence. Make me smile. You love me? Show me some love. All right. What up? Just kicking back. Let me go on to play a different joint real quick. Just kicking back, getting ready to get it in. I just been chilling. I've been sitting here, started to get ready to study, so I said, you know what? Let's go live. I'm gonna play this joint off the album called Big Head Science. It's called The King's Table. Check it out. Listen to the rhyme schemes, man. I don't know. What's up with Brother Reggie? Tell him to come through. He probably just ain't seen him online lately. Reggie was on last night. He was here yesterday. Yeah, that's produced by DJ Torre. We're gonna have some fun today. Hit y'all with some of these bars. That's all we got. Check it out. I feel like Reverend Run when he first rode my Adidas. Motor coach to Arizona, buying heaters. $250,000 deal with Lagunitas. Big fish only leave scraps for the bottom feeders. The Prada sneakers, money cut, he got a lot of speakers. Breasts augmented, made him modify the features. The moderator here to qualify the teachers. The modern day terror don't apologize to tweakers. Take the males out so they can't pollinate the reefer. 30% that's high quality sativa. We smoking weed on the speedboat. Drop a pin and cash out. I send a drone if you need dough.
We get way more than a nigga need. Potluck table, scrolling up the feed. Stallion stable, when it's time to breathe. So back up off me and let the king
Who already got that album and already knowing about that? There's two hot versions of this album out right now. Been out for a minute, but we ain't been tripping. Listen to this. It's a reason they can't compare us, partner. Imagine comparing Farrakhan to Farrah Fawcett. You be pointing like a sniper on a terror shot, your rear neck and choke to sleep. Farrah Jaka, Paris Opera, the terrorist operation proper. I told my therapist the tip of my pyramid copper. Mysterious off the pass when you're serious off of chicks. Tell me when I call.
I'm my period, Papa.
I tell Siri to drop her. Tell Alexa to text a sexy little extra thick. But she not hearing me talking. Money bags on dummies, dad is never bummy. Honey looks sunny with Dunny to stay stunting.
Greed. We get way more than a nigga need. Potluck table, scrolling up the feed. Stallion stable, when it's time to breathe. So back up off me and let the king breathe. Breathe. Roll up the cone, man. Smoking, let's breathe.
Let the king breathe. Let the king breathe.
These men do strange things, all for the greed.
Alright. Yeah, I just was chilling, want to play some hip hop. My man, Tall Guy say, play that 100 Men versus Gorilla. That was fun, man. That just came to me as an idea the other night. Like, everybody talking about this dumbass shit. Fuck it, let me make the first song about it. Oh yeah, slap on this album, bro. If I just click any of these blappers, some blap gonna come on. This look, Planet Asia, Ghostface, come on, man. And Dwayne Wiggins played the, rest in peace, Dwayne Wiggins played the bass on this song. I ain't gonna play the whole song though. But it clapped though.
Do
it all night.
Big Head Science. Listen to this blapper real quick.
Bars on freezer, cigars cold heater, sipping margaritas in my heart to Adidas move. Indonesia like psychokinesis. Overnight flights overseas, no visas. No pilgrimage to pyramids of Giza, period pieces. They sustain brain trauma, lyrical amnesia. Got serial syllable, killer with a guillotine. Rhythm of the pendulum swing.
Y'all can go listen to that. It's on Bandcamp. Let's have some fun though. I'm gonna go play that Gorilla joint.
100 Men versus Gorilla. I don't feel it, the killers. You a chill in your villa. We gon' fight till we kill 'em and get iller and iller. It's 100 Men versus Gorilla. The apex predator, ready to set it on any competitor. I rip through your regime, break things and level you. The silverback killing cats, peeling back skull caps. So ain't no need in going at you. I tear your homie body apart and throw it at you. The first 5 of y'all wouldn't survive the brawl. Don't run, oh, I catch you. I punched the 6th dude and knocked out his shit too. 1,500-pound bite force and shit too. The 8th nigga got scared. Smacked him and left the nigga right there. I'm like, yeah, been wanting this for light years. The planet of the apes gave you niggas nightmares. The humans, they starting to scatter, I gave chase. Watch how I use your blood to bathe apes. They kept running, my feet sound like thunder. Let out a roar that made the 9th wonder. I run the tundra with no guns amongst ya. You fuck with 10 more, hopped out the truck. Bad luck, I beat my chest like King Kong. Grab your leader, rip his leg off and swing it at you to beat your head off. I felt 3 men pulling on my right arm. The blow from the back fist like a pipe bomb. Now it's getting bloody. Let out another roar, then ran to get your buddy and split your buddy in half. When I hit him in his chest, his rib just came up out of his back and it was poking through his shit, looking awfully gruesome. I threw him over my shoulder like that. Then I used him like a spike bat to start beating niggas with him. Now they getting scared and they ain't showing pity. This woman tried to hit me, so I snatched off her titty. When her man tried to defend her, I just kicked through his kidneys. Then I killed the little kitties, did the silverback roar, heard all through the city. Then 5 dudes jumped my back, they tried to get me. I said hello, welcome to my litany of violence. Grabbed your girl by her eyelids, stabbed your brain. When I push your nose bone through your sinus, it's gory, it's gruesome. You have to use a G to define this. Like you're in this gigantic gargantuan gorilla's grasp. You gon' dig got. About 50 niggas ran, know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers got hands. 100 Men versus Gorilla. I don't feel it, the killers. You a chill in your villa. We gon' fight.
I know A+ came with a hot one though.
It's 100 Men versus Gorilla.
We gotta watch that A+. All right, let's watch this A+. Then I'm gonna get down to it. Listen to this verse.
Okay, syllables swerving a curve, exerted with purpose. Thoughts encrypted in verbs, emerging through nerve circuits. Time collapses when I tap in. My raps will blend science like black holes, spinning backward on axis ends. Hieroglyphics, the oracle, audible anomaly, chronicling the odyssey with sonic geometry. Started from flows spoken over broken pavement, composed with cadence to going to nations, waiting for ovations. With no hating, that's a trait you don't see nowadays. With these hypocrites sneak dissing and running coward plays. How amazing it is, or maybe it isn't. I stopped tripping after God came and paid me a visit, yeah. I write hymns blending ink with the wind. In a blink, it could end you either sink or you swim, yeah. My bars spin burdens into beams of light. No matter what it's seeming like, you shouldn't fuck with me tonight, yeah.
Woo! You gotta hear that again. You gotta hear that again.
Okay, syllables swerving a curve, exerted with purpose. Thoughts encrypted in verbs, emerging through nerve circuits. Time collapses when I tap in. My raps will blend science like black holes spinning backward on axis ends. Hieroglyphics, the oracle, audible anomaly, chronicling the odyssey with sonic geometry. Started from flows spoken over broken pavement, composed with cadence to going to nations, waiting for ovations. With no hating, that's a trait you don't see nowadays. With these hypocrites sneak dissing and running coward plays. How amazing it is, or maybe it isn't. I stopped tripping after God came and paid me a visit, yeah. I write hymns blending ink with the wind. In a blink, it could end you either sink or you swim, yeah. My bars spin burdens into beams of light. No matter what it's seeming like, you shouldn't fuck with me tonight, yeah.
Man, this is the last time. That's just like a regular song. If you hear 3 verses, come on. That's what.
Okay, syllables swerving a curve, exerted with purpose. Thoughts encrypted in verbs, emerging through nerve circuits. Time collapses when I tap in. My raps will blend science like black holes spinning backward on axis ends. Hieroglyphics, the oracle, audible anomaly, chronicling the odyssey with sonic geometry. Started from flows spoken over broken pavement, composed with cadence to going to nations, waiting for ovations. With no hating, that's a trait you don't see nowadays. With these hypocrites sneak dissing and running coward plays. How amazing it is, or maybe it isn't. I stopped tripping after God came and paid me a visit, yeah. I write hymns blending ink with the wind. In a blink, it could end you either sink or you swim, yeah. My bars spin burdens into beams of light. No matter what it's seeming like, you shouldn't fuck with me tonight, yeah.
Alright, shout out to Plus. That was hot right there. Woo! Alright, where we at? Where we at? Alright, I got a glass up on y'all. Y'all can't be mad at me though. Sometimes my eyes, I woke up, I don't know, if you live in California, you might know like me. I've been thinking there's been something going on. A few years ago, my allergies started going crazy. But now, I mowed the lawn this morning. If you see my eye, they probably all red. If you can see them. Plus, I got these bright-ass lights. I can't do it. But what up? How we doing today? So, my theory about the Merenptah, let's put up that Merenptah stuff. My theory is strong. Because it's all about what I have to contend against. When we talk about the Merneptah Stele, we're talking about what's supposed to be our first time finding the name Israel written in history. So, if you think about that, when they saying that it say Israel, they don't really got no sources to corroborate that because that's the first time it supposedly appeared in history. I got it in the title of this video and I've been doing more and more research and just been thinking, okay, it's not a big deal. There are some issues to that theory, but it ain't the biggest deal. One of the issues is, well, let's think about it. Because I'm about to show us that what some people think says Israel, I think says Syria, but my main issue is with the parsing of the term. And in my new rendering, I have to show other use cases of this new word that I parsed that I have not been able to find many use cases of it used the second way. That's a very good question. I think the second time was on, I must be wrong. The second time might have been on the Merneptah Stele or something like that. I know the first time was definitely supposed to be on the stele that we're about to look at, the Merneptah Stele. All right. It's all good. So one of the second issues is that people think my rendering, I know the first thing that you're going to think, if you know the Merenptah, if you study languages, you're going to think I'm making this grave error because the rendering of Syria in the Merenptah turns out to be spelled the same way it's spelled in English. It appears that way. But if you really understand the grammar of the ancient Egyptian, you understand it's not really that way. Because if you took the word Syria and transliterated it back into ancient Egyptian, when you get to the I and the A, since we're not dealing with vowels really, and these are vowels, right? But this A is not really A. The A that when we see the Latin A transliterated back to Merenptah, it's not really going to the sound, English sound A the way we think it is. And that's a big problem people have when they be trying to like speak the Merenptah. And you see an A, we see an A, we think we supposed to say ma'at. That's just English Egyptology. Those A's right there, first of all, the two A's in ma'at hold places for two different sounds. And the real reason why we take a space in between the two sounds is because of one of those A's, believe it or not. So I don't know what it's called linguistically, but if some of the linguistic people are in the chat, you can put it right up. It is the sound we make that separates certain phonemes or whatever. It's like an eclectic sound. I forgot what it's called. But one of those A's actually represents just the sound of the separation. Listen to when I say ma. You still always separate it. You go ma, then you go ah. Ma'at. The fact that we separated, that's what one of the A's represent in the name, believe it or not. And then one of the other ones represent just some old weird, it's basically just not A or ah. It's a bunch of different sounds. So if we consider this, and with the I, it's also the same type of thing. Think about it. Just think about this. When we transliterate the name Amen, which we all say in the A, we're not saying Iman. We're not saying Iman Ra. We be saying Amen Ra, but the proper transliteration of it is with an I. So when we think that they got these sounds worked out enough to be falsifying what I'm about to show you, it ain't that strong. It's because we're dealing with the I and the A specifically. And every Egyptologist or anyone who studied the language who knows will tell you, okay, yeah, I see it. They at least will be able to say, I see your point. You know what I'm saying? And now with the I is stronger. We kind of know the sound of it. But that A could represent many things, right? And so, well, they'll say besides that, I'm out of my time period. Or they'll be like, people didn't call that area Syria at that time. And I would wonder what sources they're reading. Or if they're just generally trying to knock me down with a general knockdown, but never really looked into the subject. Because it just so happens that right within the time span of, well, it's probably a separation of what you might say 100 years. But this attests to what I'm going to show you. So what I'm saying is the attested use of the term Syria written by, now we're going to talk about a few attestations to it. In Greek attestations, we probably going to go from, I'll look it up because I don't want to say nothing wrong, but it was a little bit before 800 BC. Right around, no, not with the Greek, it's with the Luwian people in Anatolia, where we have these Luwian hieroglyphs. And with them, we can take, they say at least between 1100, the inscription we find that says Syria on it is from 1100 to 800. They got it dated between that time period. Merenptah is 1200. So you know these datings fall like that, and I'm going to argue to give them their date because my hypothesis works within their parameters. Meaning that if they started calling Syria a place by that name in about 1100 BC, then when we find it at about earlier than that, at about 1200 BC, or in the 1200s on the Merneptah Stele, it would be a good indication of why at that time period it was not referred to as a nation. It was referred to as some people. Some people who could then, over 100 years, develop into a nation in that area. And then by those times, they will be called Syrians. People of Syria. Now, one thing to also note is we never want to confuse like what we call Syrians with the people of Assyria. We think we never want to do that. But when we do the research, we find out that other people in the area did not even make that distinction. You see, because when the Assyrian Empire fell, the Neo-Assyrian Empire, when it started to fall, where did the people go? They went to Syria for the funny part. So that probably created some type of linguistic problem. Because as I'll show you in these documents, we got evidence that they put the same, they don't want to call it an A, but whatever this sound is, they put this, we calling it an A sound in order to avoid what I'm going through right now. They put this A on the front of Syria to some of these Luanese people and even some Greeks. But then at a later time period, we can see that they simply stopped doing that. And they did not distinguish anymore between the people of Syria and the Assyrians. And they just became Syrians. And so I'll show documentation to prove that. But damn, I normally be getting the water when I start. So what's something cool to watch real quick while I grab this water? Oh, you know what? I know I'm gonna play this. This was dude, damn, I just don't know which one is the final one. Fixed log, oh, here you go, this is the final one. I'm gonna play this video and it ain't nothing but 1 minute or something. I'm gonna go grab a water. Then we about to study. That's what I feel like doing. So let me see. Check this out. Some dude was talking. It'd be funny though. Listen to this.
Dude, what happened to real hip hop? It's not the same anymore, dude. What happened to cats like Hieroglyphics, Del the Funky Homo Sapien? I still listen to Hyro.
I'm glad to see we working on a new Hyro album. It's going along great actually. Like,
I don't mean to be boastful, but I'm the type of nigga bitches need to be close to. I'm fresher than the produce section. It's evident I'm built like that, so it's no use flexing.
You can find me under dope and bone face. I'll knock a nigga down for just dosey low taste and an agua fresca. I rock the hardest when under pressure. You'll never catch a brother stressing. What the fuck is that?
I just wax on the Mac John, get my relax on the back lawn, Cadillac window, the black on. Swiss timepiece, it attracts your faction. You never rap strong, y'all lack when the track's off. We still run old school game, that's action.
We be chopping game like culinary skills, not a butter knife, sharp as Navy SEALs. When I touch a mic, puffin' like green, something like a nice dream. Scoop 'em up like creme brulees and ice cream.
I forgot how short that was. I'm gonna have to play it again.
Dude, what happened to real hip hop? It's not the same anymore, dude. What happened to cats like Hieroglyphics, Del the Funky Homo Sapien? I still listen to Hyro.
I'm glad to see we working on a new Hyro album. It's going along great actually. Like,
I don't mean to be boastful, but I'm the type of nigga bitches need to be close to. I'm fresher than the produce section. It's evident I'm built like that, so it's no use flexing.
You can find me under dope and bone face. I'll knock a nigga down for just dosey low taste and an agua fresca. I rock the hardest when under pressure. You'll never catch a brother stressing. What the fuck is that?
I just wax on the Mac John, get my relax on the back lawn, Cadillac window, the black on. Swiss timepiece, it attracts your faction. You never rap strong, y'all lack
All right, I'm
when the track's
back.
off. We still run old school game, that's action.
All right, that's Zach's son. All right, hold on. Peace, what's up, Asar? All right, let me get this right. So yeah, they be like, that rendition is, and so I thought that through as far as the time period of the use of the term Syria being so close that we could check it out. Appreciate you, 779 Optic. Then I thought the term would be a loan word to the it would be a loan word to the ancient Egyptians. Excuse me, right? So they would have probably wrote it the way they heard it. And that's what I think we have a case of. So I'm gonna share my screen. Do 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 do. Might as well share it big. Right? And getting with the dictionary be helping a lot of this. What's this place right here? Who know this place? I don't. I'm just trying to see. I can say it, but I don't know the place. Shawasha? 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 I don't know. I would have to go back to that part. Shawasha. I don't know. But that ain't what I came to do. I know y'all know that term. See, if I start pointing them out, I'm just looking at this starting with a Y. If I start to point them all out, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the text. Don't even trip off me right now. We're going to get into it in a minute. But this is the chill. So the line that I normally would start on is, we gotta come way down here, so I don't want to waste nobody's time. I mean, not really. I'm just chilling. We had started yesterday right about here, just breaking down these names, right? Then we came to the princes. They prostrate. They translate this as their heads. But if this is their heads, what is this D doing down here? Because this word is sharma, which they say is shalom next. Sharma. Right? Sharma. So if the princes, see, let me show y'all something. We're going to pull up a translation. So y'all can be seeing what I'm showing y'all. And so that you can't even act like, I don't want to go to the Christian leaders to get it. But basically every source is going to be using the same translation coming from Lithium or whoever her name is, right? So it don't matter whose translation I use. But this is christianleaders.org, yo. How about Tyndale House? Come on, dog. Deny. Just on the strength. Since there was Bogart. Now this is where you at. See? This says the princes are prostrate, saying shalom. None of the 9 bowls foreigners raise their head. All right? But notice they say their heads later. I knew their heads wasn't in the first sentence. Because if we come look, I was like, how could they? But they're still, oh, I see what they're doing. Oh, I see what they're doing. See, this is why we study. Let me show y'all what they're doing, right? They saying that this snake right here is supposed to be the long snake. And it's cut off. They saying that this snake that looks like an F should be the DJ snake. Now, if you got the DJ snake over the D, it means to speak or to say. So if we go back to the translation, they say the princes, let me show you this. This is the princes. Remember when we was doing this the other day, I told you this meant princes. It wasn't because I cheated. We've done this study plenty of times. So the word for this, I would say Siru in the ancient Egyptian. For multiple princes, seer maybe for a prince, somebody could find a different word. Some will say, oh, that's hella funny. Just what I just noticed. The S and the R for the seer root for the son of Ra is you see what I mean? Yeah, y'all see that because the Sarah is not the prince. The Sarah is, but I don't know. I'm just seeing things that possibly don't have anything to do with each other. So let's just focus. What we need to trip off is how would you say prince in ancient Egyptian? Nevertheless, this is princes. Now, when they say they all prostrate, that's because they got plurality here, and this word is for prostration. Pekhed, remember we looked that up. Now they got head, which says, but see, this is like a palm. Why would they have a hair here? This could either represent a human head or or the word upon. But then, oh, you say paud? No, that's not. Oh, okay. You saying paud for prince? Okay. Exactly, Yurik. So I think they just said that this word is jed for saying, and here's our word shalom. So go back to the translation. The princes are prostrate. We see the princes are prostrate. Princes prostrate, saying, they skipped his hair. Upon saying, oh no, she didn't skip the hair. This is a hair plus an infinitive. So this is saying, oh yeah, they know their grammar. So the grammar rule for this hair plus this verb after it is hair plus an infinitive, which is going to give us the ing in this instance. Because this was just to be the speaker to say. Since we got hair plus upon say don't make sense, right? Upon say, that don't make sense. So it's hair plus an infinitive, which is saying. So is the princess prostrate saying. Now, somebody who gonna watch my show and not give you no credit, they wouldn't have knew what I just, you even if you've been studying MetaNet for 2 years. Like, right, you would have had to been studying for longer to figure out what just happened in this phenomenon here. Maybe not. Joey's really good. He's been studying for about less than 2 years, and he would have probably figured that out. What we figured out was the reason why this doesn't say prostrate, it wasn't say princess prostrate their heads, is because this F, which looks like a pronoun for his or whatever, was supposed to be a longer snake with a tail, which would be a DJ sound, which would make the word Jed here, which means saying. Now we got the grammar hair plus an infinitive, which means saying. Now the word after this is shawarma. Now take the R and make it an L, because this is a long word. Shalom. But they got an A after it. But this is shalom. Sharma. Now you see the determinative for the category of this word. If this is the determinative and these people are saying it to this, to the king, they are definitely qualified for calling this differentiated respect. You know, something you never want to see. Like what we have to give police. Feel me? Police be like, I'm not your brother. You be like, oh, shalom, peace. They be like, bruh, you a sucker. That bully, like when the bully walking down the hallway and I ain't never had that once. Well, I could talk about that later. I had one issue in my life where it was a person I wish didn't go to my school. But other than that, I was so tied in with that person, it was crazy, bro. But he was what I would qualify as a bully. But I'm going off on a tangent because I was not even thinking. I'm thinking about this. What am I thinking about? When they walking down the hall and you thinking who gonna move out the way and you wind up moving out the way, that's that differentiated respect. And he just keep walking on his path like I wasn't even gonna move my shoulder. You was just about to get steamrolled over. And you know your position is to move and go around him. That's differentiated respect. It's not the person's bigger. I'm talking about in high school, not now as a grown man. As a grown man, shit different. You do everything right. You don't care about those stupid situations. Even if, like as a grown man, when I see people road raging, because you never gonna get it. The best thing I could get with that is road rage. I don't engage with them. I recognize that they got something of some importance in their life, something stressing them. And the furthest away from me I could get them in the shortest amount of time is the best thing I could do. But anyway, let's get back to this. That's kind of like this. So why am I saying that? Well, the other terms that fall into this category, you want to go look at them? A lot of them will have to deal with praise. Some of them will deal with praise. And that'll be the most often used case, praise. So they kind of like putting that word in that category. I had not got this worked out. Oh, but this is where they talking about their heads, because it says, look, we're going to look at the translation after I read it. This is, they say shalom, but we see a negation here. If this ain't negation, is a word for a place. I'm going to go with negation. Now you see the word wa. I'm saying that's why. So this is like one, not one head, their heads. Look, his head, not one, his head, something. Watch this. Not one of the 9 bows raised their head. See? Not because this is negation. And this is one. So not one head. It don't say nothing about the 9 bows. This is what I be talking about. Show me the 9 bows. Show me the 9 bows. See, that's why I started reading the glyphs. Because of Zachariah Stitching. Telling me all this shit. How you know? You know what he was talking about. But first of all, they think you black. So they can tell you anything from GP. Oh, yeah. Then they listen to how you talk, and then they start wondering what level is that well-spoken articulation going to take them to. Well, let's ask anybody who reads the glyphs. I could be jumping the gun here, but I could tell you I see it. Look, it says Ben. Ben is negation. So that's not. Why? Everybody can see it. Why means one. Oh, this is the point where I include the dictionary. So people can know. Right? Sometimes this dictionary betrays me and forces me. Matter of fact, I'm not even using the dictionary. It always been betraying me. I'm about to use the TLA. It's going to help you, the text corpus. So anywhere we don't think that I'm telling the truth or we think we ain't got it worked out, we just pop it right in the text corpus. I accept that. Let me see. So the word I'm looking for is why right now. See if it pop up. It's going to say one, all right? So a verb, a chord, there's none of these. A conspiracy, you don't want none of these. Trust me, you don't want them. You just want the one that says one. It's going to say something like soul or singular. The one belonging to the rope, but it's just the one. You'll see how it'll be one eventually. Well, where did Y go? Y left without being one yet. They probably want me to put the H on it. All right, well, anybody can tell you that what Y mean in the chat, right? Let me see if they want me to put the H on it. I'm going to try to capitalize, just to try. No, that's the other Y. All right, cool. Let me see something. If I can pull this up. What does Y mean? Anybody read glyphs in the chat? This shit got 65 pages. Y'all don't read glyphs in the chat? Somebody tell me what does Y mean. Or if you say that's Y, or that ain't Y. Just give me your opinion. I know it's Y because we read the, right here it's like not one of the 9 bows. I thought it means one. Yeah, it does mean one. Oh, he said put YT. Okay, YT. Then that would be, that's funny if I put YT because T means plural. Yeah, it is the number 1. Thank y'all for putting it there. I just wanted to get confirmation from other people since it didn't pop right up in the dictionary. I might have to go to the end because they still in the D's and stuff. I ain't even looking at this thing. All right. So if this says not one of the 9 bows, just raises his head. I just need you. Oh, it's gonna say 9 bows later, someplace down past here. We probably ain't got to it yet. Oh, we is at the not one head. Now, what you think this word is? I don't think it is. I do remember. Hold on. I don't think this is his head either. I think this is the word for raising right here. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Here go the 9 bowls. I told you the 9 bowls was probably way later. It was. So do y'all think this is his head? Not one head. This is a word for raised. And it's going to be like, what's the word? Not fa. It can't just be fa. I forgot this term. When we got to this point, this is what they're translating for raised. Even though this ain't what I came here to talk about, I always come to the text and start taking an hour reading it. But now I'm going to stop at the word I think for raised, because I'm just going to keep on reading. But I do see that they included the 9 bowls. And then they start talking about Libya or whatever. Tahinu, right? Tahinu. Something happened in Tahinu. And blah, blah, blah. But let's stay focused. All right. Because I can't do that a lot, though. Because that's how I learn. When I ain't streaming, I will do that all the way till I get to the point where I need to be, because that's how I learn. So if you notice, this is where we was just at. If y'all didn't notice, this is the Y word. They're going to hear F. There might be a fa something word for raising. Because I see this, I look at the category of the word, you see somebody got something on their head. I don't know. So I don't want to mess y'all up. So we're going to come over to, where did we get to? We got all the way to here, and I'm going to snip it. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to reiterate what we did yesterday, and then I'm going to pick up where I left off. Actually, I already snipped it. Yesterday, I was breaking down how I just feel like the parsing when we get to the section of this word Israel. First of all, this could be just some fake, complete fake, period. But I don't like going that route. I'm dealing with what we got. Suppose it was real, right? And I mean, this text is real, and we're trying to figure out what we say. Now, in this blue, I'm placing the parsing of the word Israel that they gave us. I ain't saying this really say Israel. They told us that, look, this is the portion that says Israel. My argument says this is parsed incorrectly. And it relies on us looking at what we have going on over here before the term. And if I could go back as far as you would like, but in order to shorten the show, I'm just going to start at the active. All right, let me show you something. I'm going to take a line right here. Oh, that's hella fat. Let's see. Make it skin. Put just a line between here so we can keep our place. We starting to the right of this. The reason why, because it was a statement made about this place, Yoanam or whatever, this place right here, and then he's going to start talking about another place right here. And as we pointed out yesterday, if this first word means to do, to make or create, and it's a verb, if you got a verb rocking an uchik, think about that. A uchik normally means plurality, right? Plurality don't work on verbs. What you gonna have, runnings or jumpings? Nah, plurality work on nouns. Multiple places, multiple people, or multiple things. So if you see you got a uchik on a, how would you know there was an uchik? Because you just have to know, because you're looking at some man's work who transliterated it. If you got an uchik on a verb, then you know that's an indication that the reader wanted you to know that this verb is in a different state at this point. So if I'm gonna say iriu, just like that. Because if you heard me say eerie or ear, you think I'm talking about the I or to do or to create, right? IR. IR is how you transliterate it. And I'm just saying ear. Some say year. But ear, right? You think I'm talking about to do or to create. But if I say iru, you know I just altered it a little bit to say something different. And that's what appears to be happening here. Because it's putting the entity is being placed inside of this statement. So, which I think would say, one does, one creates, one who does. But then it says, it has an M, which is a preposition. Then the word Tim after it. Now, we got to know that if it has a preposition, it should be a noun after it, right? Unless we got this preposition plus an infinitive again, which I don't think we is. So I think this is a thing like all and every. And if you look at this, so I said something about one who made all or every, but let's see what the translation say. It's not going to be right on point with that, and it could be all, it ain't going to be all the way off, but let's see what she said. Oh, let's say, wait a minute, 9 balls raised his head, seized, I'm on the Israel line. So let's say Yonim is made of nothing. Okay, that's exactly where I was at. So let me stop. All I need to do is take that yellow line off. Everything else is proper. Remember I said to make, to do, or create? She said this place that I said earlier, Yonim, she said it was made, not, she left out the fact that there was a participle. She just said it was made of nothing. So she translated this M participle as of. And even though this means all and every, it also can mean negation. And I guess she took that negation to mean nothing. I'm going to show you in the TLI. Right? Let me show you. So what was we doing? Tim. We just did Tim. Which Tim you going to use for this? Look, Tim. And we're going to get to the part, but this is what you need to see. So, all right, there go Tim. These are all different Tims, versions. See, that means to cease or to destroy. And there's 122 use cases of it. So when we go back to her translation, Yonim is made as nothing. I don't see nothing here, but Yonim is destroyed. Be complete, to make complete. It could have been made complete, but she said it's destroyed. All or everything. This is the other rendering I was giving you, that Tim could mean all or everything. To be over, to be ended, to be at an end. That is Tim. So it's telling us here, let's go back to the glyphs. First, she said, it says, Yonim is made as nothing. Have y'all noticed we don't see an option yet in the TLA for Tim to mean nothing? These are unclear. To be complete, nothings. Look, the nothings. But that is Timu, and they're calling them the nothings, the enemies of Osiris. That was the first time we seen a rendition where Tim had non-existent. So if you say Timu, Let me show y'all why I'm uh-ohing first. I had not come across this rendition of this word. Let me show you something. Timu winning. Let's come back to the text. Let me show you this. If you parse it different, like I told you, this says Tim. They got this S up here, or N. They say it's an N for negation. But here go the win in, or win. So we don't got Timu winning like I seen in the dictionary. We got Tim Swin or Tim in win. And if we go with my parsing, this is going to eventually be win E. Winnie. Right? Which is also in the TLA. But I don't want to go too fast, so let's keep it popping. Let me see. Oh, my phone died? Let me charge my phone. But we did just see Tim winning, and I was like, uh-oh, I got juice. Just to see that those two, if you get an understanding of the most common uses of Tim, there is often on the first page of the definition, because with the most use cases. 122 use cases to say cease or destroy. To be complete got 169 use cases. But there is 843 use cases for it not to be the negative verb. Remember I said it was negation? So she said it's nothing. And I'm with that translation. Yoanam is made as nothing. Let's go back. You can say that, okay. So we got that accounted for. Now let's see what we got next. Let's see what start happening. Remember made, this is to make, to do, or create. And she said it's made as, and she took this, and we seen all the uses of nothing. So it was made, it brought to an end, basically. It was caused to be ended. You can say that exactly, because this means to do, to make it. It was made to be ended. So now we definitely only dealing with this right here as the next statement. When I wrote the yellow line, I wrote it too early. The yellow line should go right here. Because this is like going to represent a comma to us. So now they say this is the end of negation on top. Another way to negate something. That means what's going to come after this is negative. So the word under here, as the scholars translate this, is when it means to exist. But my argument said, nope, that ain't the word right here. Let's look at our translation. So this is going to say, first before we look, this is negation, existence. So Israel don't exist. Israel doesn't exist. Right? That's what they say it's at. Look, Israel is desolated. See? Same thing. Israel don't exist. Israel is desolated. Right? But we definitely know when don't mean desolated. Any person in the whole wide world will tell you that. Like, if I'm going to put it in here. When? Well, maybe she knows that. I know for a fact she knows more than me, even as much as I'll be studying. But it ain't no when for desolated. The way she got that is when means to exist. Right? And so if you negate existence, you don't exist. So here, to open up, to open a door, to make guilt, to blame, to fault, to be bald. Yes, these are not the use cases. You're going to see like a million use cases for existence. Right? But here it says right here, but that just says existing for when. You want to find the whole one with all of the attestations. Some of these things are fairly simple, and anybody who's on a level, like, don't spend so much time just showing like when means exist. Anybody could look that up if they don't believe it. But, and so, because, right, it should have just been on the first page. Right? To open up, got 800 use cases. I'm just going to go the other way and see what happens. So before I go in on this word, and then we go look at some of the source material. If they put another word besides win, I'm going to say what they put. There we go, right there. I should have just put another in. Now that got 1,800 use cases. Right? It changed to what? But as you see, exist to be is the most common name for win or win in. Right? And so she says Israel is desolated. If we look at the text, it kind of looked like it says Israel don't, I mean, no, it don't say nothing about Israel, but something is negated, and then we see the wind. Now, what I was explaining yesterday is not a lot of ancient Egyptian words start with the reed leaves. So that's what tipped me off that this might be parsed wrong. It's like saying, no, you're making it up. It would be in the area of Israel, as we're going to find out, but watch what this scrutiny reveals. I don't know how this could be the case. So if they parsed this wrong, they separated the words wrong. My argument is saying that they left these two reed leaves off of this word, which would then be Winnie. Now, if that's true, it gotta make sense. So when you go to the text corpus and you pop in Winnie, you're gonna see I'm gonna erase this exist. Now I'm gonna go to, actually I wanna do something. Because when I put in exist, it took me to win in, but I didn't look at that entry to see if anything else, because Winnie could have been under here. See, look, they got hella wins. They got, I translated. I gotta go back. Watch this. They got win in for exist. They got win e. Don't even. Oh my gosh, bro! Don't even play with me. Some told me to come back here and look. And look at what I want to show you. They do have Winnie here, but it's Winnie ooh. But since I know grammar, they just proved me right. Look at this. Let me show you what I mean. See, this is, you see the two reed leaves after the win? Told y'all. Do y'all see these two reed leaves after the win? In. You see another in, one could be a phonetic complement, or this could be gemination. It's gemination. So you see win in e. Now this simply says those who exist. Why? Because they put an EU at the end of win. Win EU. So if they wasn't talking about plural, win e, this word proves that if this use case that mandated the use of this word was not a plural use case, then the person who wrote this word for it to ever even get put in the dictionary would have just put win e. If his use case wasn't plural, if he wasn't saying those who exist, if he just wanted to say him who exists, he would have said win e. So, although this isn't Winnie by itself, it is inside of the word Winnie ooh. And the ooh is only for plurality. I'm not going to go too much farther with that, but I did just see that on the fluke. All right. So then what? So do we get to something? I asked us to do this yesterday, and then I'm gonna do it right now again. You don't believe me? Ask anybody who read the hieroglyphs. So now when you parse it this way, let's just take their translation. First, they said it says existence, and it still say existence, but now it's one who exists. Now, if you negate it, it's no one exists. Still, with this, with the two reed leaves on it, do I have to show y'all again? People don't be getting it. We just looked in the dictionary. So now let's go after this. And I'm gonna do, I know this is gonna be sloppy, but how can I do it better? Oh, I know how I can do it better in Canva. So I'm gonna do this in Canva. I gotta take this snippet of Canva, so let me save it again. Screenshots. Why is it? I don't get it. Whatever. All right, I'm about to open up Canva real quick, and then we're gonna get to go in even further. I got my mic on. I don't even. I can have my mic way over here, dude. Can't y'all hear me just fine? All right, let me see Canva. Whatever. I want to create a new design. Oh, then I want to go to my screenshots. And put this on here. All right. Oh, I'm shopping. Y'all can't see what I'm doing? All right, so I'm going to get this on here. I'm going to blow it up hella big. Crop it. Get it to where we could just look at it super big. And I'll leave the rest of the sentence because we're going to need to work with the rest of the sentence. So right now, I'm just going to, for studying purposes, I'm going to make this hella small so that we can all see. I mean, hella big. Oh, all right, now cool. Now, why this is good, because I can go to the text and get some text and color the text and show y'all what's exactly revealed. Now, no one can deny this. And if you're going to clip this up to try to butcher what I teach, at least start from right here. So after you reparse, how you doing, scholar, who's going to try to attempt to debunk me? Whoever the guys who gave you the videos must be some pseudos. But anyway, I would like to tell you my theory on this having nothing to do with Israel and actually having everything to do with other places in the region. Before I continue, what's up? Before I continue, I will say something about this final R right here with the single stroke under it. It's also on the word before it for Gazir, and I have an argument that this R is used in conjunction with this throw stick in these people and isn't intended to be part of the word. This is probably a phrase, but let's keep it going. If you do parse this Winnie the way that we just seen earlier in the video, the next glyph you get is this one. And that is an S. I guess see how big I can make that till it start not working. All right. That's an S. If you duplicate that, let's make another one. All right, let me see what's going on. I'm flipping. Why is this not gonna duplicate it? Taking too long. Let's go back to my text. Like, oh, I should have went right here. That's what I should have went. My bad. Duplicate. All right, so next we will have what? Tell me this is wrong. That is a Y right there. And under that Y, we have a R. So anyone who reads the hieroglyphs will tell you that, yeah, that's correct. SYR is right here. But strangely enough, after that, we have an I. So this is why it's really strange. Because what are we doing with an I? This is not. Well, I'm going to tell y'all. First, this is a long word. So whoever wrote the word tried to write what he heard. Now that says Syria. All of these consonants, I mean, well, all of them, you know, you got the I and the Y in there. But all of these letters, right, are used in the ancient name of the people. All of these sounds, I should say, are used in the ancient name of the people. Now, this undistinguished sound for this A still works, meaning that apparently enough, what we put in Merenptah to hold the place of, when we see that bird in ancient Egyptian, we put an A. Now, what the hell just happened? So what does that say? Now you go show your teacher that. But hold on, am I cheating? No, I got a theory about the rest of the word, because they say the word don't stop. I say that this means something else, but we'll talk about that later. First, I want to address the people who say that these lands, this area wasn't called Syria in this time period. Right? So this is what we're going to be dealing with. That or maybe that. I'm going to take us into some of this documentation now. And what I got open still? Do I still have it open? First, I'm going to read this. And this is from a document called The Term Assyria and Syria Again by Robert Rollinger. All right? And you can read this document, but I'm going to just go down to the part that's relevant to me crushing the people who trying to tell me they wouldn't have said it like that. Watch this. Well, I just wanted to read this so we can get a grasp. And so it says, it also seems that these Greeks encountered, now let me show you just how they parse it too. I mean, how they separate these words. Dang, that's hella big, dog. Look what it says. Surah, and it gets, the A is before the I. It also seems that these Greeks encountered Surai and Ashurai. And let me make it smaller. By now, the fully evolved equivalents for one of the same region, and rendered them in Greek as Syria and Assyria. These terms were used in subsequent centuries as interchangeable toponyms. So that means Syria and Assyria, they was interchangeable. So that means they're the same thing. Although both terms also began to carry special connotations as demonstrated by Noldick and Schwartz and others, since antiquity scholars have both doubted to emphasize this relationship. It is the contention of this paper that Sinoke, it looked like it says, inscription settles the problem once and for all. Well, what you're gonna find out is that what we find out is that earlier that the Greeks did not make no distinction between the two, and they was using the term. But this don't get us no past. Look right here, the 8th century BC, right? Where they was saying Syria, 8th century BC, but Merneptah Stele that we looking at, 12th century. So we off a little bit, but not really. I want to take us to another document called Where is the Land of Syria in the hieroglyphic Luwian inscription, right, from Carchemish A4B, and why were the Cappadocians called Syrians by the Greeks? I'm not really concerned with the most of the subject matter of what he was writing about. So I'm just going to take us to the part right here in the introduction. One of the earliest hieroglyphic Luwian inscriptions for Carchemish is Carchemish A4B. Let's remember that. I'm going to tell them nah, because if you go look at Carchemish A4B, I got to remember that. Carchemish A4B, which commemorates the victorious fight of the great local king in a land called Syria. The inscription belongs to the so-called archaic group, dating between approximately 1100. Oh, y'all can't see that because of me. Look. Here go 1100. Dated between approximately 1100 and 870 BC. Let's stop right there. Because he gonna say, hold up though, if you're trying to push them dates up. If they can push the use of this term Syria for a land that was Syria back to 1100 BC, then that's really strong for my argument. That this don't say nothing about no Israel. This Luwian hieroglyphs don't say nothing about Israel. You feel me? So let's see. Listen to the next sentence. Since it describes the deeds of an earlier ruler. So let's take it back to its furthest date in order to make my theory work. 1100 BC. But on it is talking about the deeds of an earlier ruler. See? In the genealogical sequence attested in a period in question, and it can be dated 11th, 10th century. And this is BC, by the way. He just said 800 BC. To the 10th century and not much before. Not much before 1000 is what he's trying to say. All right, however he want to do it. But I'm saying we still right there in the ballpark. So then what does that say? Okay, they were using, let's say it accurately, they were using it about, even though I got these glasses on, these lights still giving me some issues. So I might not be streaming for the longest, but I turn the lights off. But let me see. What I need you to see is this. Since we are in the ballpark, let's go back to the primary, or the facsimile of the primary, and get it in. I have to turn these lights off, bro. Hold on. Let me do my thing. Wheelchair ain't got no knock in it. Oh. All right, that's better. Yeah, you can't see my face, but so what? My eyes don't hurt. So let's see. Now I can put the shades back on and I'm really cool. Excuse me. All right, that's really better. A lot of protection from all these blue light and UV. But here we go now. Make that bigger. So this is what you have to understand. This, I can translate this the same exact way that they're translating this. This still says don't exist, but now, you know what I'm saying? But when we scroll over here, hold on. I just showed y'all that on the Canva, it literally translates to Syria, right? Let's see, make sure everybody can see that. And I just showed you that this name was used around 100 years. Let me take off the subtitle thing, messing everything up. I just showed you that this name was being used like 100 years. Dang, now I gotta come off the screen and make everything perfect. I just told you this name, so because people want to screenshot this. There go your screenshot. Go take that to, oh, wait, let me put some more text on this before you screenshot it and try to get it debunked. I'm working with you. So I gotta explain to the scholars when you screenshot this that this was correct parsing. Or the newly proposed parsing is right here. Maybe I'll make a screenshot so you can spread this around the world and say, all right. I'm gonna say Sweeney. No, Winnie. I probably should go with a J so they won't think I'm that boosty. Right? And then I'm gonna put commentary for you. I'm gonna hook you up, bro. And you still gonna be hella boosty. Cause the white lady you take it to, gonna be like, who is that brother that you showed me his video? Y'all over here trying to debunk him? Y'all some suckers. I mean, say Syria is so big right there. So now I gotta work with my theory on this R. All right. Well, I gotta work with it. I should just do I could, if I did what they doing, this is Syria, right? It's still beating Israel, but if I do what I'm doing, this we're gonna look at the text and find out we got another out of place R in front of a location, and it's right in front of this. But notice this. Remember that he said it was 2 years earlier, right? I mean, he said it was at least 200 years apart when we looked at the years. So I'm arguing that first, they was writing a loan word. The ancient Egyptians, they weren't writing an ancient Egyptian word. This is how this matches up with a Greek term. Because they was writing a loan word. My evidence for that is on the same text when they was writing Sharma, it matches up with Shalom. Because they was writing a loan word. So in this instance, if they heard something that sounded like vowels, sounds that ended off this Siri word, then they use those glyphs, IA, which are just placeholders to indicate that it had some vowel sounds at the end of it when they heard it. But let's deal with it further. Because for the debunking that they got this book, I'm gonna say, not exist. I'll just say no one exists. And this is better. The reason why this is better is because, let me go take you back to the original parts, to the original text. If you look at this, oh no, you won't be able to see it. Look at this one. If you don't parse it this way, so let me back up. Like, yeah, let me take it like that. This just says no exist. It doesn't mention an human entity. That's what's killing them. Grammatically, with the use of the grammar, in order for this existence to be about an individual, you have to put the reed leaf after it. So it goes from exist to one who exists. Exactly. So if they talk about these people, why would he just say no exist Israel? See, they be trying to do some shit like they talk like Chewbacca, or they be trying to act like they talk like cavemen. No exists Israel. No exists Israel. What? In order for this existence to be referring to a human entity, you got to put a reed leaf after it. So it's the difference between existence, that don't necessarily talking about a person. But if you put a reed leaf after it, it is one who exists. If you put a reed leaf and an uchik, it is those who exist. So now why would they be referencing a plural group of people as one? Because you know how we say police? That's a plural group of people, but we reference them as one too. In other different words. Now this is what we're about to deal with, that right there. What Ampu put up. Because it's gonna make my case even stronger, Ampu piece. So we're gonna finish transliterating, but I want people to understand that this is a process. So bear with us, right? And I'm going to take you back to the English so you can see what we're talking about. So if this says, no exists Israel, remember she said Israel is desolated. Now it says, fekit, which is to destroy. Or, yeah. Fekit is to destroy. Let's put FK in the dictionary. I know that's going to be to destroy. So we're going to put FKD and see what's going on with that, if I'm not remembering that correctly. Oops. Nothing popped up, so am I not remembering that correctly? FKD? What happened with that word for destroy after that? I remember doing this research. FKD. Wait, no, did I see FKD? Let me go back and see what I see. FKT. Aha. I knew something was wrong. FKT. There you go. Faculty. All right, well, what they talking about? I don't know this faculty. Oh, here we go. Yeah, to desolate. We found it. Told you, bro. Stop playing with us. Look. Let me show you. Stop playing with us, man. Here we go, right here, to desolate. To lay the waste, to desolate. But the word, they put a T on it, so that I also know what that means. I mean, it's a verb, right? So the verb got a T on it, so it is something that is desolated. So yeah, we were right on that. So this is what I want y'all to stay focused, because we're proving that this says Syria, and we want to note what Ampu just put on the screen, right? So we just isolated this word, and it means to desolate. We looked it up. You know it means something bad because it got that sparrow bird at the bottom. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So that's desolate. Now, if you know ancient Egyptian grammar, well, this is not something you learn very early. When you start going into a section on negation, this is another negation. It's being, you see the B for the foot? I'm just gonna say a boot so you can think of a B. But it's like a foot, but a boot right here, right? That's so it gives you the B. And they're going to end. So that's bend. Bend is what? I hate being hella dark on the camera, but it's better for my eyes, so y'all ain't tripping. Bend means is negation in this instance. But if you find bend, well, I'm just going to leave that alone. In this instance, it's negation. If it's by itself and this ain't negation, it's just something that's bad, basically. But what we got, bend, everybody should know this next word. This word is peret. Now we know this word from Pert M. Heru, but we say pert. Have you be tripping off all this stuff? When we get to when we want to be all sounding fancy about the Book of the Dead, we say Pert M. Heru. What's pert? I'm asking all of us, blood. We don't be noticing stuff. We can laugh at ourselves. Like, we ain't got to be all uppity. I say Pert M. Heru all the time, but ain't no ancient Egyptian word pert. Even if it was, this ain't it. Because it starts with per, right? Per. But then per exists by itself. Then in order to say this word peret, or even though the pronunciation ain't what we focusing on, in order to say this word peret, we're adding a T on the end of per. So we read in English and we say pert, because we're not considering that all vowels need to be, all consonants need to be separated by vowels in order for us to just be doing standard Egyptology speak. So Pert M. Heru, take that somewhere. Peret. Anyway, that is coming forth by day. Now I want y'all to trip off this. Our brothers just wrote his seed in the chat, and they're 100% correct. Because that of the determinative after this peret, right? After this peret is what? A mineral. This dot represents a mineral. And 3 strokes of plurality. So now we know that this, okay, they're not talking about him coming forth out of a house. There, and there ain't no legs behind it. You see a mineral, so you know that this is seed. Now, this is the pronoun for him. For him and his. So that's why they wrote his seed in the chat. So if Ben was the negation, this is why they say his seed is not. So, but you got to remember, this verb is in the middle by itself. Because it say, no one exists, no one Syrian exists. It don't say they're destroyed, but it just says destroyed or desolated. Not seed his. His seed is not. Right? So let's keep going. I'm saying to say Syria because I'm about to damn prove it to you. This isn't the location yet, remember? These are the people of the location as we see these people determinatives. You're going to think this is magic. You're probably going to think I made this up. Now, this is why I was very impressed by what Ampu put in the chat. Because this word right here is literally how, I'm not even going to spoil it. This word right here is karu. You like, damn, you are the, I gotta be the magi, because if I figured this out, then fuck it. That's what it is. Now check this out. Watch this. I'm going to take that word and put it in the dictionary. X capital, baby. You put a capital on yours? I'm looking at your transliteration. You put a lowercase. Lowercase A or a W. Make it easy. Thank you. Now, what does that say to y'all? Corian. What do you think that means? There you go. They tried to do it again, bruh. They tried to not show y'all. Look. A Corian is a Syrian. Koru is the word I'm showing you right here. Was the name for the land of Syria. So now scholars couldn't figure out why this one got people, because this is the Syrians of Syria. God. Syrian. And I just showed you that they literally wrote Syria. But see, this is the thing. It's not no land right here. Because the land wasn't called Syria yet. It was still Koru. Now what happened? We know about the fall of the Neo-Assyrian. I appreciate you, indigenous. We know about the fall of the Neo-Assyrian Empire, where hella Assyrians started to flood into Syria. So much so that it was too much of a problem for somebody who wasn't them to even try to tell the difference. Well, I don't want to say that. That sounds kind of racist, huh? Because it's like saying you don't want to know the difference between the Japanese or Chinese because it's just too hard. But I will say the Greeks did not. Why I keep referencing the Greeks at this point? Because this is around the time when they are coming powerful and encroaching upon the Hittite empires been falling off. And the Greeks are starting to spread their wings. They made their way all the way to Kemet in the next 500 years. If you at 800 BC, by the next 500 years, they're going to be all the way in Kemet, and then they took it over. So they starting to spread their little wings. And so since we got their history, I mean, we can read it, we can see when they started calling them people Syrian, right? So my contingency was this. The reason why I haven't wrote the document on this is because I haven't been able to talk to some of my Egyptological people who got degrees and present this in front of them first. But it's in the world. I mean, come on now. Like, come on, what? What's wrong about that? What's wrong? Oh, so now let's deal with this R. I want to solve a problem for Egyptologists. They didn't have to lie. See, here's the thing. When they, let me show y'all something. And you know the fix is in on this on some Jewish shit too. Fuck with me. Look, they didn't want to let y'all know. First of all, it say plundered is Canaan. Y'all want to go find that word? What word was Canaan on here? It's right before Ashkelon. Yeah, that's going to be hella fun. I mean, I know I looked. It ain't Canaan. So I'm wondering what they transferred it for Canaan. So I'm going to show you how to find it. The quick way I'm going to find it, I'm just going by the determinatives. Let me show you. I'm reading backwards now. Right? And see, so here's a location. We already know that this is the location we're about to talk about. That they lied. Since we're here, let me point it out. Notice this. There is a R and a throw stick. I mean, an R and a single stroke before this throw stick and the foreign land. All right, now come to this word of scrutiny. There is a R, a single stroke, and a throw stick before these people. See? And I'm arguing that this R is not the final syllable of this word, final sound of these words. I'm about to prove it with the other word. Now I said they didn't have to be. See the Jew fix in too though, but you got to peep game. Look, right now, what did I prove when I investigated this word under my theory? It revealed what this really said. See, this is what they trying to say. They're trying to be fake. This is what they don't want it to say. See, look, it's saying right here. Notice that how sometimes the name listed in the nations, Canaan, is how the Egyptians refer to Gaza. But then they're going to say, since it was an administrative center for the Egyptian control area, thus the 4 cities, Gaza, Ashkelon, Gezer, and Yoanam, are listed in order from south to north. But where do you show me where you see Gaza on here? So they saying it is Canaan, right? I want to go look on the text. Plundered is Canaan, and Tyre and woe. So we're going backwards, location by location. She said it was north to south, so we're going backwards. That works. Because this first one that I encountered is Gezer. That's what they say this is. I don't think this is Gezer. By conclusion, by way of conclusion, that's Gaza. I think this is Gaza, and we got the same phenomenon happening with this R at the end. So then let's go to the next location in front of Gaza, right? And I told you I'm reading backwards. Never try to do this at home, what I'm doing. Read the right directions. So this is Ashkelon. Well, why am I doing it this way? Because it's going to be easier for me to identify them, because she just told me that was in order. So I'm just going to the determinatives of the word, and the determinative that tell me they talking about a location, then I just read the location. So this is Ashkelon. So now we got Gezer. Oh, but look, we also got this location. Yeah. So we got Yoanam, Gezer, Ashkelon. So the one that's supposed to represent Canaan should be the next city. Well, next time we encounter. See, that's what I knew it. So I knew it. So let me see what I'm saying. It didn't even go down like that. Here it go, right here. Oh shit, I found it. Oh yeah, it do say Canaan, bruh. Damn, this be raw. How raw this be? To see if the truth is the truth. And don't let people lie to you to see for yourself. Now, if you know elementary glyphs, let's go. K, A, N, A, N, A. Kanana. So there we got it. So it's right. I mean, I'm just happy to demonstrate our verification process to anybody watching this video. I've done this 1,000 times with a lot of the people in the chat. Like we do the same text over and over once a year and talk about it, add more on to it. And I don't remember everything. But we clearly see we got Canaan, so we got Canaan right here. So this is what I'm trying to say. They want you to believe that this is the word for Gaza. Nana, right? I don't believe that. I believe this is the word for Gaza. And I'm going to show you my extra strong evidence. First, let's all start transliterating this word. We see we're starting with a Q off GP. The Q and the G will get transliterated back to each other sometimes, but what you need to notice is the difference between these two birds. That's the most important thing, I think, right? And this bird got a beak, which could be QA, which will give us GA. And then this is your DJ sound, which what do they translate a DJ into? A Z sometimes. So now we got Gaz, but they gonna make it say Gazir. But if we didn't learn anything from seeing what happened when we left off the R on the other one, we got a clear rendition of Syria. Well, first of all, the fix is in because you never should transliterate two birds with different heads. These birds got different heads. This has to be an M bird. It doesn't have to be, but the most probable use case of a bird without a beak in ancient Egyptian is going to be the M bird. So how do they get a Q, a DJ, a M, and an R, and then they tell us this is Gazir? Well, I think the phenomenon is he messed up on this A, left off the beak, and they probably thought that too. And now if you take this Q then and make it a G, we got GA, DJ, which they translate as a Z. So we got GAZ. And if this is another A, because it can't be an M, that's what I was saying, Ampu. This is the word for Gaza. And I gotta figure out why in this time period is these R's appearing before these, because he did it again right here. And he put a single stroke. You don't put a single stroke on the R if you want it to be the phonetic R. So that's where I'm hung up. Not figuring out what I would say when the scholars say, no, those R's are part of the word. I have to have an answer for that. But anyway, that hasn't stopped anything. Because the most damning thing is this says Kuru, which is Syria, and this seems to say Syria in a long word to the ancient Egyptians. This right here. I'm sorry. And so, if you just continue with this text, what would you read next? Oh, it's just some beautiful wordplay. And sometimes, even in the transliteration, you could tell they had some good wordplay. Because this says Kuru, but guess what's after that? Keper. No, I messed that up. Kuru, Keperu. I'm about to go back out, man. Kuru, Keperu. This is Keperu. So Kuru, which is the place we know as Syria now, is what? M as. Now notice how this word looks just like the first word. See how I started with that? That looked like that, huh? Because it got the same sound. So this is what the wordplay is. You see that ka? Is they both these words sound with the ka sound. Look, Kuru, Keper, M, Karet. And Karet is a widow. So I was like, damn, they was ripping back in the day. I mean, they would even make, that's wordplay. Kuru, Keperu, M, Karet. Correct. Kuru, Keperu, M, Karet. Man, that is rippers, bruh. If you can't understand, that's rippers. Everything I say, like when I go into hip hop, it's just one level of rippers. I can come into this and be like, oh, this is rippers right here. Like this person who wrote this had linguistic poetic license. He did, blood. And that's looking ugly for them. Now let me go see what's going on at the beginning of this next line. I'll let y'all read this. This should get hella easy right here, bro. Ty Mary. So I'm gonna just read this in English, see if I'm getting that good. The beloved land and all the lands That's all that say right here. It don't say nothing else. If y'all think this say something else, tell. This just say the beloved lands. Well, why is it an Uchik here? Because you didn't have to put an Uchik after a Neb. So no, that just let me know that this ain't an all. This is a Lord's in front of this word. It gotta be. Because an Uchik can't go on an all. So let me unparse that. This go like this. The beloved land of all lands. Would y'all say that right here? How would y'all say? Don't give me no Bammer wig. Meaning, don't give me the transliteration. We want to hear your English. Feel me? So what that say? That say the beloved land of all lands. I would even go as far as to say the most beloved, but I just put that there. Am I messing that up? Somebody said Nebu. Oh, you think that's Nebu? Y'all both think that's Nebu, huh? Y'all might be right. Thank you. I didn't see. Oh, y'all definitely right, because I don't see the K on the cup. No, I already said it was Neb, but I was saying, what was they doing with putting the U on the Neb? But that next word, that DMD word right here, so he's like, this is like a sovereign or something, right? I'm just going to put DMD in the dictionary. I just got that on my memory. If y'all know something different than DMD, then hit me up. Because I got that off my memory. Is one of them D's capital or something? Yep, there you go, right there, DMD. So I knew I was right. It's to be renowned. It's like you a boss. Right? You trying to tell me that ain't the DMD? Or united. He said united. Okay, pronounced. Boss. I do know the DMD for uniting too. See the symbol to bring together. So now y'all think all the Lords is united? Your agreement with no, I'm going back now. So Tamari and all the lands are united. How y'all saying that? Because that's not Nebu for gold. Y'all know that now. After we look at the word united, gold ain't united. You feel me? Oh, united it. So it say united it. This is the it word. Y'all don't think that's it or them? I mean, is that them? Which one is that? I'm forgetting now. Y'all messing me up, bro. Y'all messing me up. If you see a S, DMD S10, okay. Oh, it calls them. Oh, okay, I see. How you looking at this? I was saying set at first, but now I'm not saying set. That's what I'm saying. This is a causative S, and this is just 10. I don't know, B. I don't know. That's real fall offish. Real fall offish. But Tamari Tau Nebu DMD. How do you say Jimd, whatever, sets. Jimd sets Imhetep. So it's in peace. Yeah. It's in peace. He united it in peace. Right? I mean, united it is pacified. Come on, y'all. We can read this easy. I'm saying it for this. Y'all don't want that to be it? I understand. It don't have to be. Normally they use a 1S for it. But what about when they put that, what about when they put this, like, this S and then this T? I don't know, but my plurals is belittling me right now. I can't recall Chin, 10, N. N is ours. Chin is theirs, huh? But this is just say 10. So this got to be set. The only question I got right now is what is this set, right? I want to see y'all transliterate this. And put the definition of what y'all think that means. So it's a few ways my brain would go. My brain first is trying to see, is this the S pronoun for feminine or her attached on this word? Since this word is a verb like unite, you ain't gonna attach no S to it. She unites, so they're gonna unite it in peace. They, okay, they. Or them, united them. So you saying, nah, said ain't they, though. If you say they, then you might be more studied than me right now. I'm going to rock with that. Yep, they are united in peace. That's what I'm saying. United them in peace. In Hatep. Well, let's look at this last thing, and I want to talk about it. Because really, I'm adding this on to the Hotep, bro. Because you know that ain't supposed to be by itself. So it's not Hotep, it's Hatepu. Am I wrong? No, he had to unite him in Hatepu. I know for a fact because this next thing is the. It starts with the. Right? No. No, this is a long one. Yeah, Paneti Neb. Yeah, okay. That could be a the after that. Paneti Neb in Shema. I mean, that's just something different. Well, we just start finishing the text to have fun. I never even opened up the chat. Because now I'm getting tired. Shout out to everybody watching, though. Yeah, so, no, but I thought that next it says something like that belonging to the Lord. Something belonging to the Lord or something. That's what I thought it said. I could be wrong. So let me open this meeting up. Damn. So I don't know, y'all. At least I hope in this video I provided some sources to show that at least the word Syria, we're right on the brink of when we can find it in history. It's not so far out. It's before we can find Israel in history, and they running with that. Hopefully somebody can hit the link. I'm damn near gonna take another break. Here go the link. See what I'm gonna play. Play this and I'll be right back. Hit the link and we gonna get it popping.
100 men versus a gorilla. I don't feel it, the killers. You a chill in your villa. We gon' fight till we kill him and get iller and iller. It's 100 men versus a gorilla. The apex predator, ready to set it on any competitor. I rip through your regime, break things and level you. The silverback killing cats, peeling back skull caps. So ain't no need in going at you. I tear your homie body apart and throw it at you. The first 5 of y'all wouldn't survive the brawl. Don't run, I catch you. I punched the 6th dude and knocked out his shit too. 1,500-pound bite force and shit too. The 8th nigga got scared. Smacked him and left the nigga right there. I'm like, yeah, been wanting this for light years. The planet of the apes gave you niggas nightmares. The humans, they starting to scatter our day chase. Watch how I use your blood to bathe apes. They kept running. My feet sound like thunder. Let out a roar that made the 9th wonder. I run the tundra with no guns amongst you. You fuck with 10 more, hopped out the truck. Bad luck, I beat my chest like King Kong. Grab your leader, rip his leg off, and swing it at you to beat your head off. I felt 3 men pulling on my right arm. The blow from the back fist like a pipe bomb. Now it's getting bloody. Let out another roar, then ran to get your buddy. And split your buddy in half. When I hit him in his chest, his rib just came up out of his back.
Yo. Oh, he ain't joining in. Y'all hit the link so we can get the show popping. What's up with the song? the microphone right real quick. What up with it?
What's good, famo?
Yeah, how you
I'm over
doing?
here about to get in this truck. Look,
I heard that.
we man, you killing it right now. Ramses Ramses the Great has a document with the Hittites. Where with the Hittites, it has almost the same wording for everything that's going on. We should make a comparative because he uses a lot of the same sentences.
And that was before Merenptah, right?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you might. So we may want to just add that as you write, because that could be your second book. I don't know how you're going to do
Oh,
it.
that's
But
good to know. Hey, what's up, Joey?
Joey,
Joey, you on mute.
What's up?
Shit, I
What's
gotta
up,
step
Joey?
out the room, but I'll be right back. But I can hear y'all on my phone.
You know, I found, I was discussing with Asad the other day. I was looking up words for oppress in Merenptah, and I found an interesting rendition of that same word that you use, specti. It has the F, the K, a hieroglyph, and the sparrow.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
And I was arguing that it means a depressed, sorrowful state of being. I spoke to you about it, Asad, but you probably didn't remember.
That's right. You asked me something that I didn't hear on the live as well about the Hikakatsu and the use of Shepherd King.
No.
How,
So when you were on the live, you used the word captive. And I said you have to be careful when you use that word. Because when you use it, people are going to run that and say prisoners of war. But that is not.
and I was going to pull up the information so you could see that it's a play on words by the Egyptians, because they also use it as captive, and Benito demonstrates it. But there's also another place where it's demonstrated. But I didn't get to do it because I didn't hear what you said. When you said it, you heard the kids in the back. So
But what I'm saying, to me, it really represents how they store those individuals as submissive individuals. Because
yeah,
they have
it's a play
like
on the
that.
word.
They
Yeah,
have a glyph like that for the Nehasi as well.
yeah, it's a play on the words. Now, Nehesi has a more venerated stance, even though they also do a little, everybody got their little play on the words when they do people a certain way. But
Yeah, but
the Hikakatsu one in particular, the captive term that they use is like a big thing where they playing with them, and then there's a couple documents.
yeah, but then I looked up Nehesi in the TLH, and all of those words go back to one particular phrase. So the N, I think, is the neighbor, the H,
Neighbor, yeah.
the two strokes, and a doorbolt, right? Something like that, right?
Yep.
But all of those words for Nehesi go back to that one particular word.
Some go to
What did the
the
TLA?
N and the S, so you also have to look at that one as well, right? So the main one is the Nehesi bird and the folded towel.
Right.
That's Nehes. That's the first one they use. Then the one with the doorbolt also comes into play, and then the one where you have Nehesi at the end also comes into play. It's going to get loud. I'm going to mute myself out while I drop.
Oh,
to the
no,
next
no,
topic.
we can't hear that background noise.
Oh, you good? Okay.
Yeah, we
I ain't
can.
turned the truck on yet. Look, hold on.
But then I find they were showing you ones with Sakir Ankh in it and all kind of other things too.
What you talking about?
Nehesi.
Because I was having a conversation with somebody. I looked it up because I heard Zion Lex make a statement that people from the South had a foreign determinative in their name. And when I looked it up, you see those different types of things, but the TLA takes it back to the original word with no foreign determinative. So those type of things are dependent on the situation. like if they're fighting and different things like that. Then they start to put the foreign determinative and captive determinatives and different things into the word.
Man, that
According to the TLA. But it goes back to the original word.
you didn't think that was true? What he said?
It wasn't entirely true.
How so? I don't get it.
Because we understand that when you're dealing with African culture, foreigner does not necessarily mean is not a geographic location. Anyone who is not under your control is considered a foreigner. So it doesn't mean that you come from somewhere else necessarily. If I'm wrong, correct me.
I don't know about that. I don't know like what they do when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying?
So that's not true. Am I saying something wrong?
I said I don't know. I said it wasn't true.
Well, that's my understanding of when you go back to ancient Africa and you see the different land was named after the people group as opposed to how they name it now. So Yoruba land was named after of a specific people. So if you went out in that land, you would technically be a foreigner. That's how I understand. If I'm wrong, somebody could correct me. Hello? Am I tripping?
That's a necessity, you know. I'd have to look at the argument for it. But I'd have to go look back at what he said because I'm trying to think back on the video when I popped up on there what he was saying concerning exactly. But it's hard.
No, before you came on, he made Dialects made a statement that the foreign determinative was used for people in the South.
Man, that's not a wrong statement.
Sometimes they did do that. So even though they venerate the Nahesi, there's a time where they separate themselves from what a Nahesi is, from what a Remetch is, from what a Chenahu is, right? So we can see that in the MUI when Heru says, I protect the Nahesi by myself. I protect the Remetch and a female deity. I protect
so Heru protected the Nahesi, the Egyptians, and nobody else. He's like the rest of y'all through.
I'm not saying he's wrong, but he should have explained further what he meant.
Well, he probably weaponized it and used it in a way you didn't like, but that don't mean that it ain't true.
No, I didn't say it wasn't true. I said he was partially right a few minutes ago. That's what I said.
Well, he might be. Okay.
It's not all the way right. And the reason I said because you have to explain that because it gives people a wrong impression when they don't understand the nuances of the culture. Might take it the wrong way. So that's not a slight on him, but it has to be explained further.
Last time I went to Osiris.net, they was down.
Say it again?
Last time I went to Osiris.net, yeah, they're still down. I'm trying to get. If I can get, I want to show you
he's
stuff.
Gonna bring it back up. I think somebody paid him to take it down because we were putting too much. Like I put up some stuff. I'm gonna tell you something that happened with the UCL site that appeared to happen with the SAR.
Yeah, why they take that down? I think the government, the Egyptian government contacted them, huh?
Yeah, because when we start talking what we're saying and it starts to spread, they get, they like, oh, get that down. So the other day we did a show with Jabari and he was talking about the Easter and how it connects with Kaher Ka, possibly, right? And I was saying, and I showed it and I pulled it up because they happened to pull up some of the information about the Kaher Ka, where during the month you would search for the leg of the saw, then you would search for the different body parts. You would search for the head on this day. You would search for the head on this day, just like an Easter egg hunt. And so I said this on the chat. I said, you could be right because they did use the Easter egg hunt similar to, during Kaher Ka, you would have different days where you would go look for the body parts and then you would find the body parts and that would be a big deal. So as soon as I said that, after that, that particular page is no longer up. You can no longer get to that page.
Oh,
Which
dude
means
might
that
have passed
I
away.
have the source, but you can't get to that page anymore.
I'm just reading the Reddit right now saying that the page was closed due to the owner's health, man. Damn.
Yes.
Man, I'm glad I got those sources
Damn.
off there. He was snitching.
So, and they blocked some of the stuff I did with the UNESCO book as well. Like they wouldn't. I was changing my screen during the show, but during the playback, it just shows blank, and you can hear me talking, or it shows my picture and you can hear me talking.
I just found it on Web Archive, my dude. I just found, you know how you can go to Web Archive? You up on that? People be thinking stuff is gone. Nah, you can go get the old internet. Like, look, I just went back to September 30th, 2024. You see that?
Yeah.
So put people, that's how you can do it. If somebody erased something, man, it ain't erased. It's erased today, but you can go back to when it was there.
It's forever on the internet. That's right.
Say what?
Crazy, man.
It's down, but we can still access it to get our research. We just did it. Look, I love knowing how to at least do little stuff on the internet.
You know, that's why I say be careful how we press the Egyptologists when we have discussions with them, because number one, they could lose the privilege to go back over to Egypt to do the research.
Oh, definitely, yeah. They'll write your name down, and as soon as you come, they be like, you ain't getting in. You be wondering why.
So you can stay over here. We don't want you here. That's just how I go down. And you also have to be careful, because if they say something, it can disappear from a locality as they try to do a rewrite on history. Very important. And they don't do it so much with the Israel stuff, because you have European scholars ahead in that field. But when it comes to this field, a lot of the stuff that we're saying on this, Saber Reggie, Sonetta, when we on these different channels, a lot of the stuff that we're saying is groundbreaking right now. We're taking what Dr. Ben and all of them said before, and we're proving it, and we're even going beyond that and bringing new information, like with the Syria thing. Israel would, that's a devastating blow to Israeli scholarship, basically. Which it shouldn't. They shouldn't take it as so, because there's other locations eventually where you get Israel, and you still get certain people that go over there. But the other day I showed a black Hittite suit, right? Yahuda are men. So I show him, because you have his coffin. No one ever shows it. I'm like, here he is on the coffin. He looked like Heinz Ward. And he's Egyptian acting, because he didn't have to put the menace on his head and all that. He could have used his own Hittite suit attire, but he wanted to show he was Egyptian-like in the area. And no one ever uses that, but he black as ever on the cover. Looks like a black cartoon character, and that's how the cover is coffin looks.
I think the game about to come on at 4 o'clock. I'm gonna go sit down and watch that good thing. If it ain't no game, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back soon.
Smash.
Which game
Smash, you need to tune into my channel because I'm reading your paper.
Oh, what paper? Oh, you mean?
Yeah, no more Kemet, no more. Something like that. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I'll check it. I'll try to tap in when I can. Tell the people what your channel is.
Solomonic TV. SOLOMONIC TV. You'll see like a Egyptian thing on it when you look.
What's up with Neil? I was just about to tap out. What's up with Neil?
Oh, you leaving, brother?
Yeah, I had a good 2 hours.
All right, hey. No, hey, so what I wanted to ask you, how you doing, sir?
What's up, family?
All right, look. So I just got through talking to Sar Patah Sar.
What's he doing?
Oh, he was just saying peace to you, but he was giving me some breakdown of that all that stuff. Like, you know, I was trying to get into the calendar and things. The 13th zodiac.
Oh, yeah, Ophiuchus.
Yeah, so he
I'm
broke all
sorry.
that down.
What Sar are you talking about?
Do we know him, Smack? I mean, Sar Telly.
I don't know if he knows Patah Sar.
The one
Oh,
that
okay,
do the
okay. I
calendars.
don't know him.
You probably know him, Smash. He do the calendars. Don't he make the calendars, Sar?
Yeah, he's the elder brother. He does the 9-day calendar.
But yeah, so he threw all that out the water. He only thing he kept in was what you called the Merenptah for the deacons. I forgot what you said.
Yeah, the Nemu.
The Nemu, the 36 Nemu. So the 13th, then he was breaking it down to me. Oh, he gave me a lot of information. I gotta read it, but it's on paper. But he don't even deal with the Gregorian, none of that. And he said they keep starting time over on us. He's pretty. I like him though. He's good too, man.
I
gotta
don't know.
study
I'm probably going to at him when next time he open or something, but I gotta get up out of here.
Oh, okay. All right. Smash, man, I need to talk to you, man. But I just catch you on the next go round.
It's good.
All right, one.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, Smart.
All
Say
right,
that
y'all take it easy. Word up. All right, I'm gonna do it, people's watching the good show. Only place we really can study, only place we can go.
And it was poking through his shit, looking awfully gruesome. I threw him over my shoulder like that. Then I used him like a spike bat to start beating niggas with it. Now they getting scared and I ain't showing pity. This woman tried to hit me, so I snatched off her titty. When her man tried to defend her, I just kicked through his kidneys. Then I killed the little kitties, did the silverback roar, heard all through the city. Then 5 dudes jumped my back, they tried to get me. I said hello, welcome to my litany of violence. Grabbed your girl by her eyelids, stabbed your brain. When I push your nose bone through your sinus, it's gory, it's gruesome. You have to use a G to define this, like you're in this gigantic gargantuan gorilla's grasp. You gon' dig that. About 50 niggas ran, know what I'm saying?